so I don't know what happened with it. I don't know. I don't even know what it was for. I don't know.
For sure, if you the prayer, then what?
Lord, we ask for your supervision of this meeting. Pray, Lord, that your oversight, your direction, we might make good decisions that would benefit this community now and in the future. Thank you, Lord, you are there, that we can come to you and ask that. In Jesus' name we pray.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Amy, roll call.
Joe Scott,
Yeah.
Steve Rogan.
Yep.
Adam Jones.
Here.
Tim Carter. Here. Tom Roberts.
Here. All right, minutes. Everybody get a chance to review them? Can I get a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept minutes for last month.
Can I get a second?
I'll second
Okay, Joe seconded. Any discussion at all? All right, since Kenny wasn't here, let's just do roll call on it, so. That way we don't have a all.
Joe Scott,
it. Yes.
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Timmy Carter. Abstain. And Tom Roberts.
Yes. Okay. That's all we have. Thank you. All right, financial reports. You had a chance, Tammy, or you need more time?
Looking over
We're good. We can
them, okay.
Delaware County Regional Wastewater District Report, monthly report. We actually have not gotten it for 2 months.
Yeah.
I will get a hold of Jason and get on. So I apologize for that. Let's jump to, we have opening of, let's go ahead and jump to the opening of the Old Town Hall bid. We have one response. You want to open it? That way you don't have to wait around. Pretty much what we do is kind of accept the bid and let John, let our attorney have a look at it.
You know, as I recall, this is a response to your request for proposal, so it'll be kind of, it's not like a regular bid, it's just a response showing what they want to do, that sort of thing.
Delville Community Church, it looks like. You're here tonight, right? Yes. Hi, Jill. Okay, we found it in. Kind of looking for some, there we go, proposed timeline.
Just got
August 8th is the response, was just done, 30 days after acceptance work begins, 90 days to completion, 2-year rental agreement begins, 6 months following agreement are reached on current garage space, 2 years to reevaluate agreement. They want to do some remodeling. Flooring, $24,000 worth of flooring, $10,000 worth of bathroom, electrical, $6,000. Doors and demo work, ceiling and paint, $24,000, and kitchen area, $4,800. There's a proposed use. Several items. Mom's group preschool story time.
Love
All right, everybody there?
it. Yeah.
Hub Club. So is that replacing the hub or is it the,
That's it, the name of the kids' after-school program that we'd be running.
okay. So Hub Club 2 times a month, Wednesdays. Tutoring, looks like 1 time a week. Senior social, 1 week. I was 55 years and older. That means that Amy and I both could go. Weekly community free meal. Youth after school, Friday night hangouts, summer kids camps, closed closet, large group party space available for rent, as well as ready-made party packages available for a fee. Pee-wee recreation, sports leagues, life skill classes, wintertime community events, potential rental space for people needing to office at various times, and Sunday morning worship gathering.
Okay.
And then here's the drawing of the layout space. Is this just the front, or is this going into the garage a little bit?
That's not into the garage,
That's not
that's just, correct,
That's the,
the current
basically
vacant,
the brick area up front.
yes.
So where's the
Get it
front?
oriented, yeah. What's
I should have put the
what's-
front
is this
door on
north,
there.
south, east, west?
I'll show you.
You turn it this way, where it says large
This is the existing
meeting
front
room,
door.
Oh, okay, so this is,
that's current.
this is how I hold it.
That's the existing front.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, yeah, okay, now this is quick treasure, this is police area, now I got it.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Just wanted to get oriented.
Little orientation would help.
No, it's, you did it north, south, east, and west. So it's just us getting oriented. What it should be.
Now, are you actually doing some restroom work? Because the restrooms are back to back here.
Yeah, the guy who did this part of the drawing for me was mistaken.
And so that aisleway or whatever,
Correct,
the hallway
yeah.
is still there.
So basically, the restrooms would stay as is, except for all of the cosmetic repairs and then bringing things up to snuff in there.
So it looks like the children's ministry area would be the old deputy treasurer, the counter there,
Mhm.
that space. And then the nursery is where Amy used to have her office.
Opposite.
No.
Right,
No,
Here's your front door.
yes. And this is Amy's.
This is Amy's.
Well,
Yeah.
large.
So children's ministry nursery, yes, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
we
then
got the town meetings.
the temporary worship spaces in the police area with the community space being where James King used to reside. Then you have a large meeting room where the boardroom,
Right.
main office area is.
So those 2 large rooms there, those would be what we would use for, party rentals or, whatever other community type events we might be able to have.
You guys have any initial questions?
Jill, how would that affect Craig Roberts' old house, your use of it?
So currently we're using, this would be an extension of the hub. We've rapidly outgrown that space over there. This past summer, we did like a kids' day camp in there and we were just out of space. So it would be an extension of that. And the intent in the old town hall is that we would remodel that kitchen space, but it wouldn't be, at this point anyway, we don't think it'd be a fully equipped kitchen. So we've been operating a donation space cafe out of the hub in Craig's old house. And so this would become primarily, the hub would then become primarily the cafe arm of our community focus here.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that helps.
but it also provides inside there now we have set up like counseling spaces for meetings and things like that too. So that would remain in there.
How would it work with parking?
That's what we're, yeah, go ahead and ask that question.
I mean, right now with the splash pad, we have such a parking problem. How much time do you plan to use this in the evening or on the weekends?
I think that there's a lot of that that's still up in the air. A lot of, making yourself, so let's say, for example, the whatever day of the week that was, the senior citizen time gathering. That's more than likely gonna be like earlier in the daytime. That's probably not gonna draw 50 separate vehicles or whatever either. So we don't anticipate that there will be like massive conflict when it comes to parking and clogging up your already valuable spaces over there.
The splash pad opens on Sunday at what time?
10 o'clock.
10
Right,
o'clock.
Brad, 10 o'clock.
So there might be a conflict there
Correct.
if it's not
Right.
before 10 o'clock. Because before 10
Right.
o'clock, then that's not an issue.
And I addressed that in the proposal a
We had
little bit.
also discussed at one point the possibility
Change
of
it.
pushing the splash pad to 11.
Right. Right, we could do that too. I'm just talking in terms of present.
Jill, has your organization come up with a dollar amount that you would be comfortable with each month?
We have not. We were waiting to see if the proposal was accepted first and if this was the direction, you know, because this is an investment on your part as well. Like, how can we really make a difference in this community with that space that we already have? So we haven't specifically gotten into the weeds as far as what the rental agreement would look like, you know, beyond getting all of the numbers from the contractor and all that for just the remodel.
Anybody else have any initial questions? I think it's gonna take some time to absorb.
It's safe to say we would be paying rent, yes.
Right,
Right.
Right.
How much insulation are you gonna have between the garage and that building? This happened to say Sunday morning, we're out plowing snow, and that salt spreader breaks, or them plow breaks, I'm gonna be in there making noise.
Well, you're talking right now that this would be a community space, and are you still planning on operating a church out of there? or-
So then we would, because we currently meet at the high school. We've been in there for 2 years, except for during COVID time. So yes, we would be having our worship time in there, and it is always like clockwork, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we're in and out of there. The part of the building where we're talking about meeting would not be like,
you're talking the old police area.
yes.
This right here.
Yes. We'd be somewhat removed from where he is. There's a little, and there would be already an automatic buffer there because of that one room that's in the back, that's now their office, I think.
Well, and if that has to happen. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna echo through that building.
Well, I guess, Joe, what Brad is just saying, you might want to consider that in construction
Sure,
ideas.
yeah.
It could be a noise issue. I mean, if Brad's making noise, he's making noise. But you guys are the ones gonna suffer from it.
Yeah, well, and it's a short-term problem in my mind, and we're not high maintenance kind of people, so noise, yeah, to me, that's not a like, oh,
Right.
I'd be upset if we were paying rent and it got loud in there.
Right.
Because he had to fix something.
So did everybody notice that they're asking for basically a $40,000 investment by us? It didn't have a page number, but it's under proposed cost analysis, like the second line. So totally, it looks like we would be covering, is that trying to figure out what part of that here? The flooring, the bathroom, and electrical work. Which I'm not saying we shouldn't, because, some of this has to be done, to be a permanent. I mean, that would be an improvement that would be there after you guys left.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we specify those things too, because there's not a whole lot in here that's going to be tailor custom made to, our intended purpose and use. So,
Now, just realize, we don't have $40,000.
yes, I know.
So-
But I also know that there are creative ways for us to raise money to support community endeavors.
Okay. That's good to know.
Any other, I'll make sure we address, is there other park concerns that would have been aimed at? I know that one of them would be the parking.
The parking with the splash pad,
Yeah.
that's a major concern, but it was a major concern for her.
And I know we
Trying to
have
get that.
parking,
But other than that, I don't know that there was,
I know we have extra parking we haven't really utilized in the past. That's behind the convenience store. And I don't know how many parking places Bradley, no, he's hiding behind Jason. Do you know how many parking places that adds, Brad? Your hands?
10 to 12. That's it, all on our property. 10 to 12, that'd be it.
Are you talking, I don't think generally the splash pad fills up before noon on Sunday generally. I mean, it can, but I know in July and August, it hasn't.
So we also had some discussion about the possibility of turning that lot, our lot, between the hub.
But behind the hub.
Park.
Right.
Into parking. Into parking. And that's gonna be a pretty substantial expense.
Well, we talked about doing that just gravel.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
there,
I think at this point,
there's a lot of moving pieces here.
yeah, we've got to absorb this. John, what is the, since this is the only proposal,
I would recommend that you, a motion be made to take it under advisement, so you can consider it, have a vote on that, and then you can then consider it, have further discussions. That's the whole purpose of the request for proposals, is to have those discussions. There's, and then if the discussions are fruitful, then you can come back, take it off the table, approve it. If they're not, then you can take it off the table and reject it. But right now, I would recommend that you take it, place it on the table,
okay.
For 30 days to,
however long you want.
that way we don't drag it out.
Right, yeah, it's up to you
Don't
guys.
wanna drag it out.
You can just table it and then see how the progress goes, and at the next meeting, the motion will be made to take it off the table, which is non-debatable. You take it off the table, you vote on it, and then if it comes off the table, then you can vote on where it's gonna go from there. If the vote isn't a majority, then it stays on the table until the next meeting.
Does the people in the crowd here have anything do you have any questions or comments immediately? I mean, anything at all? Okay.
Well, I guess maybe the other side is setting the stage. Does anyone have any questions or looking for information as to why we're doing this and what we're looking at? Okay. So I'll make a motion that we take this under advisement, take 30 days to absorb it, discuss amongst ourselves, give the community some time to have watched the video or ask questions or whatever, and reconvene next month and go from there. So I know that's a lot of emotion, but that's what I
I second that motion.
Amy, do you have a couple words of that motion?
Table for 30 days.
That's a
your
great
table it
summary.
for 30 days to take under advisement and discussion, basically. Is that it? Okay.
Any,
Okay, table for 30 days.
Can I just also add in there, as I think this will come across well and clearly in this proposal, but this truly is more of a resource center than it is a church. Though we are a church, we're committed to making this community better. We're not committed to designing a fancy space for us to have church services in, because that's not who we are.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you made it clear, I
Yeah,
think, in here,
I
that
think
it's,
so.
it's, maybe used for community,
yes,
as a community
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, when we look.
And that was one of the things that was a concern, is
right.
that we needed a community building. So,
The proposed uses certainly are gonna benefit the community. When you're talking about mom's group, preschool, tutoring, senior social place, youth after school, Friday night hangout, all those things are, I can go down the list. Those are all beneficial to the community, so I have no qualms about that. My personal opinion, it'll be a matter of the cost of Dale bill.
Yeah.
And
So John, can we ask for them to help us see how we're gonna meet that $40,000 proposal. Because, I mean, right now, we can say, sure, we'll do this, but we can't pay for it. We can't do it right now.
Well, the whole purpose of taking an advisement, and this is a request for proposal, is to have these discussions outside the meeting with, a less than a majority of the board to discuss with the person that, or the entity that made the proposal. And then you have those discussions, work on that, and then you can report back to the board.
And that's the same with the potential rent or.
Yes, oh, absolutely, that's all part of your whole discussion, it's a package deal, that's why you do the RFP, and there's language in there so that you can have discussions.
Okay, all right.
Is there any still here what they're asking for now?
No.
Okay. I didn't see that.
So we've had a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call.
Amy Carter,
Yes.
Steve Grogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Joe Scott,
Yes.
Tom Roberts.
Yes, and thank you very much for the
Yes.
submitting.
Yes.
Now you are welcome to leave or hang
All
around.
right, yeah. I don't wanna look rude.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
okay.
this works.
Yeah.
All right.
Take off. We can. We have noticed that we have a couple of visitors here tonight. You guys have any specific things that you're here for?
No.
You just here to attend? Amanda?
Do we have to have a?
No,
No, you don't.
we were just trying to see if you had something, so you had it, you wanted to leave, you could. So
No.
you're, okay, good.
Get back to the town board meetings after COVID and all that.
Good for
Okay,
you.
glad you came.
Like to
Yes,
see
thank you.
what's going on.
All right. Departmental reports, sanitation, Joe.
Everything's good. I think they, for whatever reason, didn't get everything picked up on Thursday.
They had a car, a truck broke down
But
today.
they had on Friday, so that's all I would have.
Did we settle on a date for the big trash pickup?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it kind of bounced
October,
around.
October 6th and 7th.
6 to 7.
Yeah,
And the
on the
8th.
back. Six is large item pickup and 7th and 8th is the dumpsters.
Okay.
It's on the line.
That was the current trash Current. The contract ends October 31st.
We're getting our last piece of it.
Yeah.
But that from the fire department, probably have to find another location for the numbers. Yep. The very annual cut there is on the 8th of October, so.
Oh, were you having it at the fire station? Because last time you had it at the
We
park.
just had a discussion yesterday, and we're gonna take it back to the fire station, so.
Yeah, we have it set up for the fire station and Davis Drive, so we will need to change that.
Okay.
I don't know
We'll find
where
it.
you're gonna suggest we have them, but we need a suggestion then, so I can let her know.
What about down at the park?
Schoenberg?
Oh, Shellfire Park?
In the parking lot there?
That's not half bad of an idea.
Yeah.
And it's not
You wouldn't see it from the road.
That time, I mean, could you even put it down by the riverside?
That's something.
Oh, I don't know if they'll be able to get in there.
They'll be able to get in now with that truck.
Yeah.
We didn't have the bodies in there too. No doubt.
This is being recorded.
Just so everybody knows, we're changing sanitation companies, November 1st. So we went out for bid and we saved some money by going with Best Way. Actually, they were the only bidder.
Is it November 1st or October 1st?
November 1st.
November first.
Okay.
So Best Way, who had it before, has got it again. So, all right, so you've got the locations now pinned down?
So you want it Shellfire Park?
Yeah,
and
is
Davis
that
Drive?
fine with you?
Yeah, and we might mention the pickup's gonna go from Thursday to Friday
Right, that's a good
with
point.
the new.
In November, we can spend that out on bills.
Yeah, the pickup will be Fridays instead of Thursdays. All right,
Not till November though.
right. All right, any other questions? All right, water, Brad, you're here. Anything going on?
It's a tap to, put two water services in on Fifth Street. That's about the only thing I did.
Okay.
Everything going fine? I'll be posting, I'll be having to start flushing hydrants if we're on.
All right. And that, we send that notice for that?
I always put it in the newspaper
Put it in
and
the paper, we put it on the sign.
taking about 2 days to do it.
All right. Sounds good. Anybody?
You get those dates soon enough, we can, put them on the bills too. For people.
All right. Streets, Tammy and Brad.
Brad, you want me to go? He sprayed the weeds down Walnut Street and Sixth Street and Delville Road. Cleaned up Walnut Street, kept us on the mowing, making sure the splash pad was running every day. Talked to the railroad, they are coming out to mow 32 all the way to 69 behind the new town hall. Do you know when they're gonna do that, Brad?
He said ought to be middle of this week or bring it in next week.
Okay.
And he's a real nice guy, I talked to, he called me back.
So
Yeah.
we could get them to do that, I don't know how often, once a month? Is that?
Yeah, well, he said he'd probably get on the rotation.
Okay.
He said, this is the first time somebody ever called. I said, I called before.
Yeah.
He said it'd get on the rotation now, that we're,
Well,
I think
that's
it's the first time this year.
yeah.
So they're gonna mow down the 69 and behind here?
Yeah. But he was a real nice guy to talk to. Matter of fact, I met him up here Sunday afternoon.
Anything else, Tammy?
He's in the process of a new drinking fountain at the park by the river. They should have it finished up by Wednesday or Thursday. And the old trailer is down at the water plant so we can sell it.
Is there a market for the old trailer?
I think it's an auction,
Really?
take it to an auction. You guys give me information, we'll take it to Don Small auction down there, just let it run through the auction. You pay a percentage, but let it go.
Get rid of it.
I don't need it, we don't need it anymore.
I mean, I could put it out on listserv and see if any other towns need a trailer.
Well, let's do that, and then meantime, schedule it.
Okay.
Right now?
Just get me the info on the trailer. So I can-
And the street, they're currently working on paving, probably as you've all noticed, at Heather Lane, Dale Harker Drive, Market Square Drive, and Seder Avenue.
So they actually started Del Harker, the area over
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
they started milling it up this morning.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you it's pretty bad trying to go to Starbucks.
Yes, it was. That's something.
Starbucks.
I saw them out on Heather Lane this morning, or
Yeah.
get set up.
They got the paper down on
Yeah, they got the fiber down on the other one. So they'll be in here tomorrow. If it ain't raining, asphalt that.
it. I didn't even see what it was.
I also got a letter from Lee and Alice Wade regarding the intersection of Fourth and Snyder. And I guess I'll talk it over with Brad after this and see what we can do, but they more or less says it's dangerous. They live on Snyder. If you're heading south on Snyder and you wanna turn east or left, they cannot always see right. Delville has limited parking in some locations, and they propose a stop sign on Fourth Street so that they can safely cross Fourth Street without being hit.
We discussed, well, last month, there was another letter.
They're probably the
Verbatim.
same, probably the same one. It's probably-
Oh, okay.
Verbatim.
Okay.
I don't remember what was decided.
I don't either.
I don't know
Took it
when
under
one was in
advisement, because there's
hospital.
not much we can do there.
Can we, is it, you said there's a shrub sitting up there, is there something we can use a shrub at least cut it down, or is it?
Yeah, I thought we said that a letter was gonna be mailed out to those people to trim the shrub back or.
Tim Sherback, and it's where the guy parks there on the corner. It's got his boat and stuff like that, they can't see around that. I think that's where it is. I'll go down and look at it, and I'll get back to Tammy.
Okay. All right, anything else for Tammy? All right, P and Z, Jimmy.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on.
sorry.
Yeah, I talked to Tammy. Looking at the old truck, the old salt truck, I thought it was a frame, it ain't a frame. It's the bed about ready to fall off of it.
What is it?
It's the bed, it's about ready to fall off of it.
Okay.
Because it gaps like it, gaps between the cab. So we need to maybe look at purchasing and putting a flatbed on.
That's cheaper than a new truck.
Yeah.
You can probably find one of those.
Yeah,
About $3,500 brand
Okay. Well,
there you
do
go.
it. Yeah. What do you think, Tammy?
Would that be,
Sounds good.
is that composite? Something that's not, you're not just gonna put it down and then have rust out?
new. And I'll put a nice steel one on there. I need to put aluminum one on there. Aluminum, you're gonna get up a little bit more money, because aluminum, scrap prices went back up now.
Okay.
I'll look at it and I'll get back to Tammy and then she can get back with you guys.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, P and Z.
Okay, planning and zoning, we talked about Del Harper, they're dividing off lot 6 of the lot 4. And we approved it and advanced it, I recommend you guys that you approve it. And then we had a discussion about the cafe over here. That's an upcoming meeting, so.
So can I get a motion on the plan?
Can I make a motion, since I made a motion on the planning and zoning side?
Okay, so I
Okay, all right, well then, I make a motion that we approve, as recommended by planning and zoning, the subdivision of lot 4, off Dale Harper Drive to create lot 6.
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion?
Where are we talking for sure? Where at out there?
It's lot 6, it's directly north of Waffle House.
Okay.
It's on that, it's in between Waffle House and the houses there. Right up, it goes all the way basically up to where the lift station is.
Okay.
So just 3 acres back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little less than 3.
All right, did we already get a second? Who seconded that? Oh, okay. We do it all in favor? So all in favor? Anybody opposed? Okay. Anything else?
That was it.
Thank you for your hard work. Police.
I've got a couple things. Start off with our fish fry. Our annual fish fry was Saturday. Our record was last year. We ended up 624 this year, so 20 off of our record. Trina sent me the totals and it looks like profit after we've paid everything, we're going to be at about 5,500.
Wow.
And I want to thank Trina for helping me out and Carol Harris also. Both of them done tremendous work.
That's just fantastic.
So hopefully we can keep it up and have a good number next year. So. And once again, everything goes to Operation Christmas. So it's for the kids here in town.
Well, thank you very much for all your hard work. Whoever was involved.
We will be sending out thank yous on social media, but I want to give Trina and Carol a special shout out.
Okay.
And my next thing is Officer Curtis. We would like to bring him from part-time to full-time. Adam, you want to take over from here?
Yeah, so it's been recommended for a while. We have a lack in coverage to move Curtis, who has been part-time, along with another officer, to full-time. Curtis has been part-time and another officer has been part-time. And the recommendation is that we move Curtis to full-time and basically eliminate the second part-time position.
Well, both positions.
Both part-time positions are gone.
We won't be hiring the
Yes.
second one.
That's it, yeah.
We're not gonna eliminate the line, we're just.
Right.
No.
Okay.
It won't fill the position.
Right, you're just not, okay, got it.
So the additional expense would come in, would be a modest pay raise, I think of 50 cents is recommended, which still puts him well below the existing officers, along with his benefits. So that would be the big difference in cost. And the recommendation is that we do that, and we also have this particular position as a 2-year contract, because we know that we have money available in a fund for this purpose for 2 years, but we don't know any further out. So at the end of 2 years, it would be up to that, basically the department or the town to find funding or the position to be eliminated.
And Curtis is aware of that as well.
So can I get a motion so we can discuss further?
I make a motion that we move from part-time to full-time. Curtis, I can't think of his last name.
It's Adam.
Adam Curtis, okay, that's right. Adam Curtis, and we do that for a 2-year contract.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Well, could you also make any motion as you're amending the salary ordinance as well?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That's part of that.
As part of the motion, yes.
Because we have to add another
Yeah.
full-time position. So we're amending the salary ordinance to add another full-time position.
Okay.
So I help you out there, Amy.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks.
Can I get a
That's
second?
what, next thing I was gonna say.
Adam seconded. Okay, now discussion. My understanding is he would be funded out of public safety for the rest of this year, which is, got the money to fund that position.
It's for the second year then? Or the
Second year,
rest
we're
of
gonna
it?
have to, no, just for the rest of this year.
Right, yeah, but from there on, do we have an idea where we might get?
Well, it'll be able to fold into the police budget.
Okay.
It might, percentage of it stay in public safety, if we don't have anything promised out of that fund.
That was my other question.
But it has eliminated the 2 part-time positions. We were probably paying more money for the 2 part-times than we will be for Curtis's actual salary. Benefits probably makes up that difference. Don't you think, Jason?
It's probably pretty close, yeah.
Any other discussion? All right, let's do a roll call.
Joe Scott,
Yes,
Adam Jones,
Yes,
Steve Brogan,
Yes,
Amy Carter,
Yes.
Tom Roberts.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Anything else?
oh, wait a minute. We need to take a step back. The recommendation is that that position is made effective tomorrow.
Well,
Technically, it is. I mean, when you adopt the motion,
Okay.
unless you would have specified a start date other than immediately.
Yeah, okay, well,
then we're okay.
the background on it, the discussion been had with Amy, that would be an ideal time for that to happen.
I would have thought,
What payrolls?
I thought today would have been a better one. No, because today would be a full week then.
But I think he's already worked part-time.
Oh, okay.
Part-time's
I
paid
see.
a week back,
Yeah,
it
it-
becomes, a-
Okay.
yeah,
I agree with you.
just leave it
Okay.
that way would be.
I'll go with what Kirk Tracy
Sorry for
had
the-
about that. So it's just basically, we don't have to change anything, right, John?
No,
Because it's.
you've already
it's-
amended the salary ordinance,
Right.
you've made a full-time position, so it would start tomorrow.
Right, okay.
And do they need to say that they're paying salary and benefits out of public safety for the rest of the year in the motion?
We are, I mean, that's basically
know,
what I
I-
said.
You just said
But does
paid
that
out,
have
so I
to
wanna
be
make.
part of the,
Well, I mean, the benefits are technically part of the pay, I mean, that's within the salary ordinance, right? I mean, you specify the pay.
All full-time people get, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm good.
Thank you. All right, we already voted. No? Yes?
Yes, you did.
yeah, we're done.
All right, we're done with that. Anything else?
I don't have anything else unless you guys have anything.
Keep us safe.
Thank you.
You guys stay safe.
It is getting warm in here. Yeah.
73.
Turn it down.
I did.
Oh.
We're within our 4-degree window, so it hasn't kicked off.
Oh, and it's after the scheduled time.
That's all right, I already.
Okay. Park Department report.
You want to run through what everything Amy said, or do I just need to give a?
Just whatever was approved by you guys to move forward or something.
Or any highlights.
Yeah, highlights.
Can help with a couple highlights.
Concert. Okay, well, let's start. Okay, let's go. Seth Cook will be in concert 8/25 from 7 to 9. Cook and Bell will be in concert September 24th from 6 to 8. We're showing Hocus Pocus, the first Hocus Pocus movie, on September 23rd. The shelter house at the park will be, work on it will be started
That's
this
Shellbarn.
week. Shellbarn Park, that's what I meant. This week or next. They're
It'll be-
getting all the parts in.
Yeah, it'll be next week.
Next week, okay. We approved to put, you guys already did that, fencing around the drain gate. We need new pea gravel and weeds and weeds need to be taken out of the playground at Bicentennial Park. We already talked about the fountain. Slide parts are in and they're waiting for the company to install. That's about it.
All right. Any questions? Okay. Claim docket, everybody has a chance to review the claim docket. Can I get a motion? The amount this month is $178,664. Are you writing this down? $178,664.36. And who would like to make a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the claim docket in the amount of 178, where is that? Yep,
I don't know which way I got it down.
178.
178, 664, 36 cents.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, good. We also already reviewed the revenue detail. It doesn't have to be approved by the board. It's all been signed by the board. Basically, it's a method of looking at the revenue to see what's reasonable, and we've signed off on it. Then we have the reconciliations signed off by Amy and Trina, and then by review and signed off by Tammy. So we appreciate that. Those done. The employee distribution report. I missed his signature. Who is it? Tammy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tammy's. But anyway, that's been reviewed, and Tammy will soon review it and sign off on it. So that takes care of all that. Anything on ADA or Title 9 or, Title 6? Okay. Now, new business. ARP solar update. Anything at all? I know we have solar panels.
Yeah, so we had panels delivered to the water plant. In addition to that, we got the breakdown on the generating capacity of both sites. 65 kilowatts at the water plant, 66 kilowatts here. We have received the bid, insurance check, the security of the bid check.
Oh,
From Invacor, who is the one that won the overall project bid. And as part of that, they also guarantee that the projects will be done within 120 days. So this will be wrapped up.
4 months.
And it's projects.
Projects.
Okay, good deal. Any questions?
Sooner the better.
There is one question on here, the professional services fee in the amount of $1,100. You want to do it here instead?
Well, is this a water thing or is it ARP? I mean, is it TAM?
They didn't distinguish, it's just they look at our project as a single project under 2 different locations.
Let's just take it out all, and then we'll figure it out. We can always.
Okay.
Yeah, they sent that right before the meeting.
Then here's a $500 bid security check.
All right, thank you. Any questions about solar? URT tax, John. If it's, my understanding is correct, because we never had a meeting that raised our rate because of the URT tax, that we really don't need to take it out.
That's my understanding as well. The URT tax was something the legislature put in about 2-3 years ago for utilities. Municipalities could pass that cost on to their customers by increasing the rates. It doesn't look like you guys ever did that. You just absorbed it in your cost of operations. So if you didn't pass it on to the customers, then you don't have to adopt an ordinance to repeal the tax because the legislature already repealed the tax on you guys. So there's nothing that needs to be done. You guys are in compliance.
So should we have something written in writing from you on that? Just for the board, I'm sure the Board of Accounts is gonna come in here and say, what do you guys do with the URT tax?
You can put it in your minutes
Okay,
that
it's been discussed.
been discussed. You didn't adopt a rate increase, so there's no reason to adopt a rate decrease.
So, boy, I need to get that down.
I got it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Because
It was confusing as all get out because they were sending all kinds of messages out and,
Oh, people were so confused and.
oh, it was terrible because they didn't know what the percentage was. And I think there's a significant number of municipalities that just said, the heck with it, we're just gonna pay it. And we're not gonna, because there are a lot of hoops to jump through to raise the rates.
Right.
And so.
And I looked through our minutes from 2005, clear up through, and there was nothing, at any time the rates increased.
It wasn't that onerous of a tax, and a lot of communities were pretty good in their utilities, so they just said, heck with it, it's gonna save us money because some of them had to hire rate consultants
Oh,
and
yeah.
pay lawyers and, I mean, it cost them a lot more than the annual tax was.
all right, thank you.
No problem.
All that workforce. Fence around the drain at the park. Commonwealth, when they were doing their stormwater work, noticed that our waterway in the new town hall park or Walrus Park, if you look at the waterway, the storm sewer, it has bars going across it, but there's no fence going around it to prevent somebody from falling down on it. And they said that really we should have a fence going down to about 3 feet so that a kid can't be stupid enough to fall on it, in it. And so Brad has volunteered to put a fence around it, haven't you, Brad? And so that fence is going to be put up in a week or two. So his list keeps growing. So, but you're going to match the fence, right, with what's at the park.
Yes.
That's the idea.
All the black stuff.
No,
No,
it'll be the
no, it's
wooden
just-
fence,
Oh, wouldn't,
it's around the curve,
okay.
just
gotcha.
match it up, make it look just like that.
Okay. Makes sense.
Actually, it'd be cheaper than probably buying chain link fence.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you on that. RFP for the town hall, we got to open that. Additional payment to Baker Tilly for stormwater work. We got notified from Baker Tilly that because of the way we're doing the bond now, for the stormwater project, technical stuff that it's gonna, it really, they need to raise the fee, and I can't remember how much. $10,000.
Can I do that too?
What's that?
I thought it was.
Calculator out, man.
You're a pretty funny guy.
So why everybody's asking, you know?
Let me find how much it is though, exactly, so. But so go,
Is it in those documents that,
is it in here?
I don't know, there was documents from, isn't that what this thing's designed to make your building work?
I don't think so, no, these are all the bond stuff.
Oh.
So, in the meantime, let's move on to, we already did the fall cleanup, I can't do that. State, can you talk about state opioid?
Well, there's not a lot of
I just,
information out there yet.
no.
Here's a letter.
Yeah,
They're
they're.
Well, it's very
Everybody
vague,
got
it's
it.
vague.
It's very.
Just talk
Letter
about
doesn't tell you
Yes.
anything, other than you're gonna get some money sometime maybe
And who
in the
knows what.
future.
It's gonna be divided up in 2 years, so it's gonna be restricted funds and there's going to be non-restricted funds. Nobody's really given specifics on what the restricted funds can be spent on or the unrestricted funds, so we just have to wait for the state to decide to tell us how to spend the money.
The formula.
There's language in the master settlement agreement I've looked at
Yeah.
that talks about the use of the funds, which is
The restricted funds would be for,
dealing with opioid issues.
right,
Mhm.
now I can tell you, our unrestricted, I can give you the amounts. Our unrestricted share is 15,214.41.
Now, that's over years, right? I mean,
Well, and then our unrestricted share, or the total abatement share is 35,500.
That's over about 18 years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's spread out, and then unrestricted share is 3,200. So-
Here's $12.
Yeah. Spend, but they're gonna, Board of Accounts is gonna tell us how we can spend that money, so they're gonna tell us how they can spend that $500 a year. Which is a.
And they have not decided on how they want us to deposit and do all that stuff yet.
Thank you. So
Probably have to set up a separate fund for opioid.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sure there will be.
So to jump back to Baker Tilly, their fee's going up to $35,000, jumping from about 25 something. So, I need a motion to approve that.
And the backstory on that is that we cannot get the bond to pay for the stormwater project unless, so.
They do all the technical financial side, so. So I still need a motion.
Make a motion that we agree to the increase in payment to Baker Tilly.
Up to $35,000.
Yeah.
Can I get a second?
I will second it.
So you're approving the payment to Baker Tilly up to 35,000?
Yes,
Agree to be extorted.
exactly. So, any discussion?
And we have no choice. We have to pay it or we can't get the stormwater project done
Right.
and people's basements and crawl spaces continue to flood.
Comes out of the bond payment,
Yes, it does.
bond principal too. I
Who
believe.
seconded that? Steve?
So, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Okay, good. All right, discussion on staggered board terms. Steve had a discussion with John Brook.
Yeah.
He's going to tell us what the result of that.
John sent all the board members, everybody see the letter that John sent us as an attachment? Just want to make sure everybody did. Bottom line is, and John, you can help us a little bit too, because he's had some experience with this with other entities, but right now, we could have everybody change on the entire board, plus the treasurer. All right, fire. Careful, yeah, the church, or the church treasurer, the clerk treasurer, right? And so all 6 of those positions could change in 1 year, which, I mean, I can't imagine what that'd be like.
It'd be a disaster for the continuity of projects.
Yes.
Regardless.
We
of-
got all kinds of stuff going on that needs to continue and follow through, and there's gonna be people that are gonna be like deer in the headlights because they've not been involved in the process. We could sit here and say, and I'm sure that's been said on other boards, well, that'll never happen. John, can you explain to us how it has happened?
I had one committee that had replaced all of their board members. Luckily, the clerk treasurer didn't change, but all the board members changed. So they consequently had all new people on the very planning board, zoning board, all that stuff. And they lost about 1.5 years worth of progress at least. on just trying to get up to speed on what they were doing, where they were. They had to hire some new people in the street department, all that stuff, and it really hit the town for a loop there, that they lost all that momentum, in lack of a better term.
So John did some, and I really appreciate that. I told John this specifically, but he did a great job of researching this. He also contacted a state law lawyer regarding this process, just to make sure that we got all of our i's dotted, t's crossed, everything covered. So in a nutshell, you can read the letter, but in a nutshell, basically we can do this with a 3-year term, 4-year term. And that would be we would set that up. We have to set it up a year in advance. We'd have to set that up for the next general election. At that point, 2 people, we can't have a majority of the board members, so 2 people would be up for 3-year terms, or would have 3-year terms, and the other 3 would have 4-year terms. We can also.
And then everybody would have a 4-year term after that.
Then, yeah, when the 3-year term people are done, the next election would be for a 4-year term, and that creates our stagger. Does that make sense?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So what does that do? I mean, we may not have an election that 3rd year. Do we have to create an election for ourselves, or?
Yes, you would.
Okay, I don't know that we need, but
As I understand it, the general election for the town board is next year in 2023.
yes.
Which is a general municipal election cycle in Indiana. So if you would do this, you would then you would have 2 members that would come up for reelection in 2026, which would be another general election cycle under Indiana state law for state representatives, some senators, different offices that come up in a non-election year, even year. In Indiana, we have elections every 3 years. The 4th year after presidential election, I guess everybody is tired and we don't have elections unless there's a bond issue to come up. So 2026, which would be a normal election year, you would conduct election for 2 members that you could run through the county as part of the county election process.
Okay.
You are going to have to make a decision next year on whether you have a convention or conduct a primary election. Legislature changed some of the rules, and so you have to adopt an ordinance. You're small enough, less than 3,500 people, that you can still have a convention in August like you do now. But you have to make that ordinance and make that declaration.
Oh, we have to do an ordinance to
Yep.
say that.
That's all part of yeah. Because right now, I don't see an ordinance that identifies that.
No, I doubt
How would you determine who would be the
it.
people?
We're getting there.
We're getting there, Terry. So basically, we can do that. We can determine who the 2 people are. This board can determine who those 2 people are any way we want.
Correct.
An example, which I'm going to cite it because I think it's the easiest, the simplest, and maybe in my humble opinion, the fairest, is we just say the 2 lowest vote getters would be the 2 people that would have a 3-year term rather than a 4-year term. That would be my recommendation, but there's other, John,
All sorts of combinations,
Yeah.
highest, lowest, 2 highest. You can even do a blind draw if you want.
So you
Name
draw
out a
straws.
Draw.
Name out a hat.
Yeah,
Around.
you can do this draw thing if you want to,
Yeah.
get short straws. I mean, there's no definition of how we do it.
And
So
it's
we
left
can
up to
set
the
up
board to
anywhere we
make
want
that
to.
decision.
So is this done by an ordinance?
You have to introduce an ordinance and adopt an ordinance in the year before a general election. So I
we do
this
it
year.
now.
Yes.
So
And we have to decide how that determination's made.
Yes, you do, because I got to put it in the
Part of the
ordinance.
ordinance.
I like the idea of the blind draw. Personally. That seems to be the easiest, or the most, to me, it's the most fair, regardless of votes. It's
my
just-
first thought was the lowest vote getters. Because
They would have the shortest term,
Just one.
I think so.
Yeah, just once.
Yeah, just once, that's all.
Right.
We're just trying to get past the hump.
Yeah, in this case, it would have been Steve and I,
Yeah.
so.
Tom made the suggestion that we do the people with the least amount of hair, but
That's a valid reason.
you know, those that get that.
I'll be at that in a month.
Well, I can't get there, buddy.
So do we need a motion tonight or wait till the ordinance? You need guidance on how to write it.
I need guidance on how to write it. How would you like to do that? And I can put it in an ordinance for your consideration, and you would introduce it at the next meeting and then adopt it in the October meeting.
We have to adopt it in October meeting, because
Yeah.
November would be too late. Or would November be okay?
You're in the year 2020, you're in 2022, is just the year before, so it doesn't actually have to be a year before the election, but in the year before.
Okay. So we don't have three.
So-
I'm gonna go with the flow as far as you
The
guys are good
two
as low.
fewest votes.
Yeah, that's.
Well, let's just do
We can do a motion if you want. Is it okay, John?
Yes, sure.
Let's have a motion for what you want. and let's see how it goes.
Okay. I make a motion that we create a new ordinance that allows for staggered terms of the 5 positions. Initially, the 2 of them would be 3-year terms. And those that, and it would be done through the election process, and that the determination of those that would have 3-year terms would be the 2 lowest vote getters.
In the 2019 general election, right?
2019.
And then after that,
No, no,
Have
no,
2023.
2023.
after the initial cycle.
No. I mean,
4 years.
you've got to make a determination who are gonna be the 2 people that are gonna have a 3-year term in 2023. So you have to make that determination now.
Ahead of time?
Yes. Who's gonna have a 3-year term, who's gonna have a 4-year term?
I thought it was done by the lowest vote getter.
But it's always from you can't do it in 2023 because it's not fair and it's not within the statute. That's how you identify who's gonna have the 3-year terms.
By the
So
lowest
the-
vote getters.
The low.
Yeah, but not in the 2023 election. It has to be from the previous election, 2019.
Well, how can you do that? Because we be up then. Are you,
Everybody's up in 2023. All 5 of you are up for election in 2023. It's just that in 2023, 2 of you will have a 3-year term and 3 of you will have a 4-year term. So 2 of you will have to
Whoever
run again.
wins in 2023.
Right, whoever wins in 2023 will have a 3-year term, whoever that is. If it, John Smith and Eric Doe, then they have but everybody knows ahead of time
I'm
what that
fine with
is.
the whole concept. I just didn't understand how you're going back to 2019. I didn't.
Because that's the last general election where you can determine who the lowest vote getters were. If that's what you want to do.
We can't do it for the next cycle?
No, because the ordinance would be incomplete at that point.
So if we run over by runs and it's the same vote result. So, well, no, it wouldn't be. Let's say that actually Steve and I get the most votes. So we would be the still 3-year term.
Right. You have to identify that in the ordinance ahead of time so everybody knows what their term
That
of
just
office
seems
is.
really strange.
But in the election, John, let's say, I'll just eliminate myself and say someone else, we'll say Charlie Schwartz is one of the elected people, then how is it determined what Charlie Schwartz is, 3-year or 4-year term?
You're all at large, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so like if none of us got reelected.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't run in districts.
I know they don't run in
They're all
districts, they run at large.
That's why Tom and I have been talking about it being the lowest vote getters in that election would determine who has 3 years. Is there a way to do that?
That's what.
There's nothing in the statute says one way or the other.
Mhm.
It doesn't really identify it.
So really, what we want is the next election, the 2 lowest vote getters are the 3-year term. right?
Let me do this. Let me draft an ordinance that says that, very
Okay.
good, okay?
All right.
And let me run it by Brad King at the
Yep.
state election board,
That's a great idea.
because I'm not an election specialist.
Well, anything we do, we would have the same issue. Trying to think of, well, a blind draw.
So-
If we did a blind draw now, and let's say there's.
You don't have districts, but you have positions, don't you?
Nope,
No,
it's all at large.
all
Okay.
at large.
Yeah, because the whole board can be,
I don't know how you determine.
that one.
So it would be a single 3-year, 2 people would serve a single 3-year term, and then from then on out, it's 4 years.
Right.
Just elect, and there'd be an
Okay.
election to fill 2 positions 1 year, and then the next year
It would be a,
fill 3
yeah.
positions.
so
Let me-
one
let me-
election would fill 3 positions, one election, yeah.
Let me draft that ordinance in that form, send it to Brad King to take a look at. And I get his comments, I'll share with the board. So you can have it for consideration, at least introduction, at your next meeting in
That sounds
September.
Do you want to have discussion about that, though? I just made that proposal. We want to make sure,
Oh,
because Adam was
so
having
you,
an idea.
wait, that was all the
That was my proposal.
motion, so I need a
I
second.
second.
Okay.
You second that, okay. Now, discussion,
So you're having a motion for the attorney to create, right?
yeah,
But it would include,
we're trying to tell them what to say.
it would include the 2 lowest vote getters being,
In the
Ah,
2023 terms, election.
So you're eliminating the primary.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you guys could all be eliminating the primary if you had enough people running.
yes, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
Or you could be eliminated in the convention too.
Yeah. I'm completely lost.
I'll just run it.
But the whole idea.
Just tell me.
Yeah, the whole idea is to get it on a staggered
No,
term.
I get it.
How we
He
get there.
understands
You
kind of
don't-
how we
yeah.
get there is kind
Yeah.
of crazy.
I understand what you guys are talking about. I think I can draft it, get it to the state election board to make sure that they're okay with it.
Right.
And then see if they have some comments and share that with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
So we still need to vote on this.
Well,
You're telling the
You-
attorney
okay.
to create
Huh?
an ordinance for staggered terms.
For
Yeah.
discussion.
So I think we're
Is
done.
everybody through discussing?
So let's do a roll call.
Yeah.
I'm back to who made the motion? You
I made a motion,
Okay,
you second.
Hey, we want to keep it complicated for you. You gotta earn your keep here.
Okay. Tammy Carter,
Yes.
Steve Burke,
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yep.
And Joe Scott
Yes,
and Tom Roberts.
Yes,
All right. Thanks, John.
No problem.
thank you. Now, township partnership timing, I'll put this on the agenda.
Let's nix that one.
Okay. Now we're ready for the stormwater bond ordinance.
You have it up there.
Yes, so, this basically is you wanna talk about it? Cause this is
Did-
basically a legal thing to get the bond going, right?
Did Kim send you a bond ordinance?
I have in front of me an ordinance probably that you prepared,
I
and I
prepared,
got a couple things from Baker Tilly.
I prepared a rate ordinance.
Okay, that's
Increase
what,
rate ordinance.
okay, rate ordinance,
I didn't think Kim was gonna get you the bond ordinance till the special meeting.
okay. So then I have 2 others, from Baker Tilly.
I don't know what you got from Baker Tilly.
Only other.
One of the contract,
One is the debt issuance, arbitrage, and continuing disclosure. Do I need to do anything with that?
There's a green thing, so sign here.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
I bet that's the fee increase thing.
Well, that's a lot of pages.
accountants are worse than lawyers.
Yeah. I don't know about
I
that.
can take a look at it.
I work with both. I'd say that.
Yes, this is a great thing, so I'm gonna get.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, the rate contract.
So I can sign that.
We've already approved that.
So maybe all we have is the bond,
No, it's
the
not.
rate ordinance.
This is the introduction of the rate increase ordinance for the stormwater.
And this is a.
That's just a report.
That's it.
Yeah, this is the rate ordinance here.
You cannot waive the rules on this one. This is up for introduction. You have to have a public hearing to increase the rates.
Makes sense. Okay, so guess I'm saying open it up for discussion, is that
Now
correct?
you're introducing.
Introducing, excuse me, use the right language.
Motion introduced.
Motion to introduce ordinance number 2022-07, an ordinance to approve a proposal to change rates and fees and to amend chapter 52 of the town of Daleville, Indiana Code of Ordinances.
This was to change the rate from the current rate to, what was it,
Monthly
$9.75.
will be $9.75. So we have to have a second.
Yes. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
the real discussion will occur at the public hearing.
All right, let's do a roll call.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Joe Scott,
Yes,
Tom Roberts.
Yes.
Now you should discuss having a public hearing, the date for the public hearing.
Date for the public hearing is August 22nd at 6 PM here. And then after that, we will address passing the ordinance, the rate ordinance.
I will draft the notice of the public hearing, get it over the newspaper tomorrow for publication, because it has to be published one time, at least 10 days before the public hearing. And if it gets published on Wednesday, then that will be more than enough time. And then I'll also put a notice together for a special meeting for the board on the 22nd too.
So the public hearing will be at 6, special meeting immediately following, or how can you put that?
I would put, the special meeting started at 6 also. Then you conduct the public hearing at the start
And go right.
and then go right into it.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna put, some signs up to make sure.
All right. Anything else for this board? Did I forget anything? You guys got anything else?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
On the stormwater, everybody goes through what's the timeline on construction?
They're having,
Is there
the
any,
bond closing is until the end of September.
okay,
But they're letting bids in September themselves.
What's that?
They talk about letting bids in September.
Exactly, yeah. And so I don't, it'll happen probably in the start of winter. They do those things in the winter.
That's,
Some
they
would,
did all
yes.
of the, survey work early summer. And we were told that construction time is gonna take about 18 months.
okay. Just wondering if it goes right down pretty much.
That-
Down the whole side of whatever,
That'll-
it's not fair one.
That's gonna be 2 years. They're gonna have that open.
Mhm.
Tom,
Yeah.
wasn't it,
Oh, no, it's a bigger pond, very
wasn't
little
that
place,
the schedule from Darren Wells?
It does.
or keeps the water.
Construction duration, start construction, October, 11 months.
Okay.
So, and again, this is getting a major grant with this, so that to help pay for most of it. So, okay, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to adjourn?
that was one.
What's that?
Amy gave me this and this. Something we have to look at.
That was for you to look at, because so you're the department head of sanitation. I mean, you can share it with whoever you want to share it with, but that was,
Oh, these are just bill issues?
yes.
Well, we want to wait a little bit. Did we get a motion to adjourn?
Tammy.
Tammy,
Tammy, thank you. Please
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I opposed? Thank you all for being here.
Todd.
Paper copies of the
Todd,
information
give me a stretch.
report, 117.
Why, no. Okay.